So we have already covered the first three of the Satipatthana objects. The first one is Kaya, the body, or the collection of the physical elements that can be discerned in various parts of the body. Mm. Second is Vedana, which is feeling, means the uh, mental experience of pleasantness, unpleasantness, and neutralness. Mm. That is Chitta, consciousness, knowing, nature of knowing of the object. Okay? Mm. So, so one more remaining, the last one, which is Dhamma. Okay? So today we will discuss this last object, last Satipatthana object, Dhamma. Mm. 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 So first of all, what is Dhamma? So now, when we speak about Dhamma, uh, first thing that often comes to mind for Buddhists is what? Buddha's teaching, right? Buddha Dhamma. Okay? But in the context of Satipatthana, when Buddha talk about Dhammānupassanā, okay? Dhamma here does not refer to the Buddha's teaching. Okay? So Dhamma, this Pali word Dhamma is one of those words that has a wide range of meaning. Okay? So in the context of Satipatthana, Dhamma is used in the sense of natural phenomena. Okay? So natural phenomena. That means any natural, mental, or physical qualities that can arise within the six sense experiences. So, mm, and it is often called Sabbhava Dhamma, means natural qualities, or Sabbhava Lakkhana, unique uh, natural characteristic, or sometimes a unique characteristic. Okay? So, unique characteristic in the sense that uh, I think we have already discussed this before earlier. So, Buddha talked about many different mental, physical nature in his teaching. Okay? So, and each mental, physical nature, nama, rupa, dhamma, uh, each mental, physical nature has their own unique nature. Okay? So, for example, we have already discussed the earth element. What is this unique nature or specific characteristic? It's hardness, hardness or softness, roughness or smoothness. These are nature that is specific, unique to earth element. Okay, this nature is not shared by any other dhamma. Okay, only earth element has this nature. The fire element has the nature of heat and cold. Right? So then chitta has the nature of knowing. uh, mm, and Chaitana, volition, has the nature of motivating, encouraging, of willing the mind, and so on. So every mental, physical nature has their own unique nature. Okay? So this unique nature, they are called Dhamma. Okay? Yeah. So Dhamma means natural, mental, physical qualities. Okay? Mm. So Dhamma means the natural, mental, physical qualities or mental and physical nature. Okay? So, for example, so in noting rising, falling, So when you're not rising, falling, what are the mental, physical nature that are present in the experience? Mm. Mm. So, of course, the most prominent nature present is the wind element, right? So you can experience it like, for example, the tightness, tension, pushing. uh, So, so this is one nature, is a physical nature, right? It's a rupa dhamma. Okay? So this is the wind element. Okay? Mm. But wind element is not the only nature that is present in the experience of rising, falling. Okay? So, mm. So if your noting is clear, sharp, uh, open, open enough, uh, open to the experience, okay? And you'll be able to discern the other nature that are present in that experience, okay? When you're not rising. Okay? Uh, So, for example, you may be able to discern uh, as sensitivity. uh, mm. So, this wind element, you experience it as a physical sensation, uh, tightness, or tension, or pushing. Okay. So, mm, so when you observe this experience, you may notice there's what we call bodily sensitivity, okay, or kaya pasada. As this is the sensitivity to bodily sensation. So, so at a place where you experience the rising, okay? So whether in the abdomen or in the chest, uh, so at, at that place, there you notice there's some material properties that is sensitive to the physical sensation, which allows you to pick up the sensation of tightness or tension or pushing. Okay? So this sensitivity is another nature, another dhamma. Okay? So it's bodily sensitivity. Okay? So uh, it's called pasada rupa, sensitive materiality. Okay? So this sensitive materiality is found not just at the body door. Okay? So at the other sense door also, you can find this sensitive materiality. Okay? So each sense door has a sensitive sensitivity or sensitive materiality uh, that is peculiar to their own particular senses. Okay, so for example, when you through the ear door, right? When you hear a sound, so you're not hearing. You know the experience was that there's a sound that's very clear sound, but you observe carefully. The experience of sound is occurring at a certain place uh, inside the ear, deep inside the ear. Okay? You notice there is something that allows you to hear the sound, and something that's sensitive to the sound. Okay? So that is the ear sensitivity. Okay? So and the eye also, you're not seeing, and the experience of seeing, there's colors. But if your mind is s- clear enough, you notice that sharp enough also. You notice that there's something in the eye uh, that is sensitive to the colors, which allows the eye to pick up the colors. uh. So that is sensitive materiality. In the nose also, there's this materiality that's sensitive to the sound. I mean, sorry, to the smell. Yeah, and the tongue also, there's this sensitivity to taste. huh? Mm. So So on the body also, there's this sensitivity, eh, to physical sensation. eh. And this sensitive materiality is a subtle materiality. Okay? So you experience it in the mind. Okay? In the mind, experience there's something that's sensitive, eh, to the physical objects. Okay? So often you experience it as like a location of the experience. Okay? So not the conceptual location. eh. Uh, you feel, when you experience it directly, in the mind, like when you hear a sound, you're not hearing. The mind can pinpoint exactly in this place, the experience of hearing occurs. Okay? So that location actually, where you pinpoint is where the sensitivity is. Okay? Mm. So you usually experience the sensitive materiality, mm, through the location, of the experience, of the sense experience. Okay? Mm. So, um, so this is a rupa, uh, rupa dhamma, a physical nature. Mm. So when noting, rising, falling, there's the nature of the wind element. There's also the, mm, bodily sensitivity. Okay? But that's not all. Okay? These two are only rupa dhamma, material nature. There are also nama dhamma, mental nature. Okay? So if your mind is clear, sharp, sensitive, you may be able to notice, while you're noting, the rising, that there is the awareness or knowing, nature of knowing present. Right? So there's something, in the experience that knows the object. In this case, the object is the rising, the wind element. Okay, so you notice there is tightness or tension or pushing. At the same time, there is also the knowing of it, knowing of the tightness, or knowing of the tension, or knowing of the pushing. Okay? Mm. So this is a mental nature, nama dhamma. Uh, There's also, the state of the mind contacting with the object. The mind is in contact with the object. Okay? There's passa. Okay? There's also feeling, that arise, when you note the rising. It may be pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. Okay? Mm. So, so there are all these mental, physical nature that are present, uh, in each moment, when you're not rising or when you're not falling. Okay? So each of this is a unique nature, that is present, in this experience of rising and falling. Okay? Mm. So, so when your mind has enough clarity, you'll be able to discern this nature of Dhamma with each noting. Okay? Mm. But you discern them one at a time. Okay? It's not that one noting you're able to pick up all this different nature together. Uh, One noting you notice as the wind element, as bodily sensitivity, as knowing, as contact, as feeling. No, you cannot. The mind can only know one thing at a time. So every time when you note, you can only note one of this nature. uh, Whichever nature is most prominent in that moment when you note. Okay? So if in that moment, the most prominent, is the wind element, then that's all you know in that moment. Usually in the beginning, it's just the wind element. uh, but uh, as you develop, your practice, as the mind becomes sharper, clearer, more sensitive, then the other more subtle Dhamma may appear prominent. Sometimes the knowing becomes prominent. Sometimes the sensitivity becomes prominent or the feeling becomes prominent. Okay? So whichever is prominent in the moment when you know, that's what the mind take note of. Okay? So you know, you note as you label just rising, rising, rising. But it doesn't mean that all the time the mind just notice the wind element. Okay? When the mind is clear enough, it may notice there are other nature present. Okay? The nature of knowing may be present, or the sensitivity may be present, or the feeling may be present. So whichever is prominently present in that moment, um, you take note of that. Okay. Mm. So when the mind is clearly noting this Dhamma, this nature, one at a time, but noting them one after another, uh, whichever Dhamma is prominent in the moment. So when you're noting the Dhamma continuously, moment to moment, this is called Dhammānupassanā, contemplation of the Dhamma. We say that Dhamma means the natural, mental, physical nature, right? No, but if that is the case, then you may ask, then the first three of the Satipatthana objects, they are also Dhamma, isn't it? Yeah, they are also mental, physical nature. Right? Kaya is physical nature. Then Vedana and Chitta, they are mental nature. So they are also Dhamma, isn't it? So, no. So in that case, then what is the difference? Okay? Why did the Buddha thought another object? Besides the first three, they are already Dhamma, right? So actually, the Buddha taught this four Satipatthana objects in terms of their contemplation. Right? So in terms of how you contemplate them. Right? So the first three objects, when you contemplate them, when you do Kaya Nupassana, Vedana Nupassana, Chitta Nupassana, you contemplate a very specific Dhamma, right? So you do Kaya Nupassana, you only contemplate the physical nature. Mm. Mm. So Vedana, you only contemplate Vedana. Chitta, you only contemplate Chitta. So, mm. Mm. Now why do you contemplate these three? Yeah? So actually these three, the body, feeling, and the consciousness, the Chitta. Yeah? These are the three uh, objects that we identify very strongly with as a self. Right? So like the body, we identify very strongly the body as ourself. Right? You look at the mirror, you see your body, immediately in your mind you think, there I am. So you think of the body as yourself. Right? So, and because of that, now you have strong attachment to the body. Right? You also take Vedana, identify very strongly as the self. Yeah? I feel good, I feel wonderful, I feel lousy, I feel bad. So you identify very strongly. So because of that, also you have strong attachment to Vedana. Chitta also, knowing, I know this, I know that. Yeah? So you identify very strongly with the knowing as a self. So develop strong attachment to the Chitta as a self. Okay? Mm, mm. So when you, so Buddha taught this contemplation uh, of the body, feeling, and consciousness in order to break the identification uh, with this body, feeling, and consciousness as a self, uh, and also to break the attachment to it. So, mm, however, when you contemplate specifically these three objects, the contemplation is not comprehensive. Okay? So you may have break the identity with this very specific Dhamma. Okay? So, but what about other Dhammas? So, experience is more than just the body, the feeling, and the consciousness. So there are other nature, other mental physical nature present also. Okay? So if you contemplate just this specific nature, then the insight that is developed is not comprehensive. Okay? Insight into anicca, dukkha, anatta is not comprehensive. Okay? But when it comes to Dhammānupassanā, the contemplation is very comprehensive. Okay? So in Dhammānupassanā, you contemplate all mental physical nature without exception. Okay? You do not choose whatever nature that is prominent, that is clear in the moment you just know. Okay? And so you leave nothing out. Okay? Mm. So when you note like this, then the insight that you develop is more comprehensive. Mm. 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 So the contemplation of the body, feeling, and consciousness is not comprehensive. Okay? Whereas contemplation of Dhamma is more comprehensive. Okay? So for example, when you first begin your practice, you contemplate rising, falling. Okay? So this is more like kaya nupassana. So you put your attention most of the time just on rising, falling. Okay? So it's only the wind element. Mhm. But as you develop your practice, when the mind becomes sharper and clearer, and then gradually you begin to discern. There's also not just the wind element, but also other more subtle nature knowing, feeling, mental contact, bodily sensitivity, and so on. Okay? So all this subtle Dhamma becomes clearer. Gradually, it becomes clearer and clearer. Okay? Mm. So, so when they become clearer and clearer, you begin to notice them. So your practice begin to shift uh, from kaya nupassana into Dhammanupassana. Okay? So in Dhammanupassana, when you practice Dhammanupassana, the mind is open, open to all mental, physical qualities or mental, physical nature without exception. Okay? So you just contemplate every moment where you know, you just know nature, Dhamma, Dhamma, Dhamma. Okay? So idea is to contemplate in this way, contemplate continuously in this way until you see that, or you realize that everything uh, that arise in our experience, they are just mental physical nature. Okay, so there's mental physical nature present in each moment of experience. That each moment of experience is empty of a self. There's no self present. huh? There's just nature, just Dhamma. Okay? There's no self, no person, no being present. There's just nature, just Dhamma. Moment to moment, there's just Dhamma. That's empty of self. Okay? Mm. So this is the, um, you can say, feature uh, peculiar to Dhammānupassanā. As non-self, anatta. Okay? So when you do Dhammānupassanā, you realize very clearly, okay? And there's non-self. Okay? There's no person, no being, no self. Okay? There's just Dhamma, just mental physical nature present in our experience. Mm. So when you practice Dhammānupassanā, so you're noting many mental physical nature uh, continuously, moment to moment. Okay? Mm. So, and also uh, when you doing Dhammanupassana, so when you do Kayanupassana, you focus your attention mostly on just rising, falling in that one place. Okay? So, but when you start to do Dhammanupassana, okay, the contemplation is spread over all the sense doors, all the six sense doors. Okay? Whichever sense experience is most prominent in the moment, that's what you know. Okay? Not just from the body door. huh? Even the body door also is not just on the rising, falling, or the abdomen, but it can be sensation, any sensation that is prominent in whichever part of the body. Okay? So the noting is spread over a very wide area. huh? Mm. All the six senses. But of course, one one noting only one particular experience. Okay? So it's not that one noting you note every one of the six sense experience. Hmm. No, no. So in order uh, to be able to practice Dhammanupassana in this way, okay? Because because you're noting many mental physical nature, moment to moment, and noting is spread over all the six sense experiences. Okay? So the noting mind not only need to be sharp and clear, it also needs to be very agile, flexible, open, adaptable, very swift. Okay? So mm, mm, because you are noting whatever prominent nature that arise and experience moment to moment. So the mind needs to be able to, first of all, be very flexible. Okay? So we're able to adapt very fast, uh, switch from noting of one nature to another very quickly. Okay? So, mm, so Dhammanupassana is also not a practice for beginners. Even for experienced yogi, it is not a practice that you do right from the beginning of your retreat. Okay? Because in order to do this, you need to develop the noting mind first. Okay? So in the beginning of your practice, so the noting mind still it does not have enough strength, enough continuity, sharpness, and clarity to be able to follow the dhammas moment to moment. Okay? So if you try to watch them, uh, like when you do in Dhammanupassana, so because your noting mind is not well developed yet, you find you'll not be able to keep up. You end up with tension. Okay? So after the mindfulness, develop sufficient strength, intensity, clarity, focus. uh, you develop enough samadhi. uh, when the mindful noting is occurring continuously. And noting mind is agile, is flexible, is proficient, and is able to move from noting of one nature to another easily, moment to moment. Is able to pick up one clear nature after another easily. Okay? That's when you do Dhammānupassanā. Yeah. So when this happens, you find that the noting mind is going on. Noting is going on with momentum, picking up one nature after another continuously. So you're just noting Dhamma, 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 nature, nature, nature. So, and the mind has no preference for any particular nature, any particular object. Okay. So, unlike when you do Kayanupassana or Vedana or Chittanupassana, you favor only one particular Dhamma. So, but when you're doing Dhammanupassana and when the noting is proficient, it goes on picking up one nature after another. There's no preference. It notes whatever prominent nature that's present in that moment. Okay? And whatever arises is just another Dhamma, another nature. Okay? So noting of one nature is no different from noting of any other nature. All are just nature, all are Dhamma. Okay? So when you note like this continuously, uh, your whole field of experience, uh, your existence itself actually, resolve into just Dhammas, just nature, not just metaphysical nature. There's no person, no being, no self, no living entity. Okay? Just nature. Okay? So this is Dhammānupassanā. We stop here tonight.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.